Brad Williams, XL Prime. Section 14.6, how to find the closest match with the index and match function. I'm going to introduce you to a new function. That would be the index match. It's another lookup feature and has a little more versatility than, let's say, the VLOOKUP. We have this issue about ascending and descending order. Well, index match will allow you to sort with ascending or descending order. A little more flexibility. Index is an independent function. Match is an independent function. Together, what they'll do is match will match a particular argument, and then index will complete that and provide the final answer. Here's a review of the arguments within the index and match feature. Index, what does it do? It's an array. What it does is it looks up an array, a range of cells or an argument. That's the first argument. The second argument, row number, the row position in the reference or array. The column number is optional. That means it's similar to the VLOOKUP. You can select the column, and then the area number is also optional. That would be the entire range or select range. The match, the first argument is the lookup value, similar to this VLOOKUP here. The match has a lookup array, a little bit different than a table array, a range of cells in an array reference. Match type is optional, 1 being an exact match or next smaller, and then 0, an exact match, and -1, exact or next largest. So let's take a look. I have an index, just the index. If we compute just the index, I have a VLOOKUP, and then there's also an index match. What are we doing here? We have index. If we look here, what's the first argument? B5. What's B5? Right here it says the array, and it says B5 to E13. Well, here's the range, B5, and we're going to take this whole range, and that's what we're looking up. The second argument, 5. What is 5? That's the row number. Why? Because we're looking up Jupiter, which is right here. We could just point to Jupiter. That's what we're looking up. And what are we looking for? We're trying to find the diameter of Jupiter. The index function allows this simple lookup. The index alone will work. VLOOKUP, well, we're familiar with VLOOKUP. What are we looking up? Well, we're looking up Jupiter. So we just pointed and it shows G5. What's the next argument? The range, which would be B5 to D5. We don't need the satellites because we're not looking up satellites. What's the third argument? We're looking up in the third column. Fourth argument is we want an exact match. The index match, working inside out, what are we looking for? Let's review. We have match. What's the lookup value? G5, which is we're looking up Jupiter. Where? We have to be a little more specific here. Well, we're looking up, and the range is B5 to B13. Lookup array, right here, B5 to B13. What's the third argument? We're looking up an exact match. So what it does, it looks for, in B5, similar to the index, we're looking up B5, we're trying to find Jupiter, and we want an exact match. So what happens? Go here, and we can look up this lookup feature and hit F9. And what does it tell us? We're looking up Jupiter. What's the lookup array? Hit F9. This is just going to show what this array looks like. We're looking up within this range. We're trying to find Jupiter. If we do, what happens? We can do this. Go to this argument, lookup array, hit F9. You're going to see the match, G5, Jupiter, which is right here, G5. If it's found, if Jupiter's within this range, what's going to happen? Let's look at the index function. We have data. We have data 789. Well, right here, what is data 789? It's B5 to D13. So what we're looking at is a range. And what does this formula say? Data 789, and then if we look, Here's the index, and we're looking at array, row number, column number. So we look at this array, and what's the row number? This is the row number. What are you saying? Within this data, we're looking for, if you look at the index function, we have an array and a row number. All we're looking for is within this range, we're looking for the row that says Jupiter, and then this third argument says what column. We have Jupiter, and then the match function says Jupiter is in this row, and then the index function is going to go, I found Jupiter, and I'm going to go over to the third column, and that's true. So if we go to array, hit F9, this is what we see. We see Mercury 4879, Venus 210, and it just gives you the information. If we look at Mercury, we have the planet, we have the position, we have the diameter, and we have the satellite. Well, the index function looks for that fifth row, which the match function produces. It will look for whatever's in the third column. You're probably confused. Back up here. If we look at just the match function, here's the match. All I did was copy the match. What does it say? It says, I'm looking for a row number. We're looking up G5 within the range B5, and we want an exact match. We found Jupiter. Here is the end result. Match G5 is equal 5, and that's just the fifth row. Index comes in. As I showed, index is going to look for number 5 and whatever's in column 3. It's that simple. Index match allows you a lot of versatility, and then you can customize it any way you want.
Brad Williams, XL Prime. Thanks for watching.